Hey everybody, welcome to the Gamers Show. My name is Gray. This is Gray Plays, and tonight I'm joined by my good friend who's on mute. I gotta unmute him. Don't forget to unmute him, Gray. There we go. My good friend, Commander Macebite. Commander Macebite, how you doing?
Hello, Gray. I'm great. How are you?
I am doing awesome, and I'm gonna sneeze. Did you believe that? Man, that was a big one. So let's see. What do we do? What are you working on down there at the main base? What you
well,
working on?
I just cleaned up my screw delivery to the heavy modular frames because you need a lot of those for the train stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I probably should see what else I need to start building the trains to start picking up plastic, and then I'll start a bunch of storage containers for our plastic deliveries here.
Yes, plastic. I think we're producing plastic. I we were short on materials, so I don't think the oil refinery is what I would call 100% complete, but it should be burning off excess oil, I mean excess fuel, and making lots of plastic. I think matter of fact, to keep things simple, I think I stopped rubber production.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm starting to set up the northern forest base. This is let's see if I can show it on the map here. So this is one in the North Forest. This is the other end, and I'm on this end right here. Okay, almost near the desert. And we'll start setting up some miners. And start our outpost production.
Well, it's funny you talk about the oil because one of your posts there or messages to me, you mentioned about the oil. I went down to that area and investigated, and maybe you've already done it, but there's a cave that has other oil spots right behind what I think you have already tapped, and I believe they're pure, so we should get a lot of goodies out of that.
Yeah, so for anybody listening, I kind of posted some maps up on in the Discord area of what we're working on in the Satisfactory area. I believe it's in the Satisfactory subthread. And there's definitely some places for us to tap. I know. Ooh, I got bugs. Why did it have to be bugs? I know. We didn't need. So there was 6 oil wells. I only am using 2. The reason is we weren't even using that oil. So I had set up 4, but 2 of them don't even have power yet. I'm like,
Hmm.
we're not even consuming the oil we have. Why should I power those up?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's 2 more. If you look, there's 2 more kind of back behind it. It may be, I don't know if it's in a cave. It's like near the cliff wall, but in any case, maybe they're in a cave. I don't know. But so there's a total of 6. You can see that on that Satisfactory map website. And I tried to print that out for, so we'd have access to it, so we could look at it.
Alrighty.
I've started a few different games here in the Northern Forest, in this section specifically. So that's why I figured I would branch out and see if I couldn't help the cause by developing the wilderness. So there's limestone up here. This is a little foggy. Maybe it's because it's nighttime. So I kind of know this area pretty well. So that's why I made the train trip. This is halfway across the map. This is literally halfway across the map. It does look like they've changed it a little. Or it just could be my graphics settings. But there's crystal down there, and then there's coal. Lots of coal across the river over there. And then the oil in this area. There's a whole bunch of it up north here. But the closest one that I've refined is over there behind that big mushroom. Whoa, I almost fell. Scary. Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, I know. It's funny how you get like nervous, or you get that almost, you get that, I don't know, shakes almost,
Yep.
and it's not a real character. You're not a real person,
Yeah, I know. Isn't it funny? It's not even in VR. It's just your.
Yeah, that's true.
It's those mirror neurons that we all have. so we understand what the other person's going through. So I'm kind of starting from scratch up here, doing the all the basics,
Sure.
so I can
Which
help.
is actually fun. That adds some entertainment value for sure to it.
Well, and then maybe I'll go off and produce things that you're not producing down there. I know we have plenty of rods, and I did print out a full list of what's available.
Okay.
So that's in that map. It shows all the resources available down there. So very helpful, I think, to have that.
Sure.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start building a action factory. So in the past, I would just put everything on the ground or put it on the floating, thing. But I'm going to actually build this as a factory.
Oh, okay.
Now I don't know. We may have to unlock some more of the goodies from the awesome shop. You know what? I don't think that's going to be wide enough. I think I'm going to go up. I think this is too low. So what have you been working on in your single player map?
Well, mostly hard drive searching, trying to get everything that I can. But the Meat One character, minus the contact materials, a couple of things that are related to the Christmas release. So there's probably 3 hard drives I won't be able to get, but I'm going to get every single other one. And then I think, other than knocking the nuclear power area down, everything else I'm going to strip down and rebuild. And I'm going to go backwards. So like this product needs this many minutes and of supplies, and work backwards all the way to the original resource. So that way each line will be solely dedicated to whatever part that is, and then have a container.
I found a good website that does that. I know the one that we use the map for, Satisfactory Calculator, does that. But I didn't like the way it was doing it. I found another one. It was something like Satisfactory Tools. I searched on Satisfactory Production Planner, and it did that.
Okay.
The problem is it's hard to get everything on the same screen. You know what I'm saying? It's like the
Oh.
list of things you need. For instance, if you're looking at one of the final items for the space elevator, right? It's just such a long list, that it's hard to get it all on the screen at the same time. So it's like, ugh, what do I do? I don't want to write this down. I don't want to print it. So, and then lunchtime was over, so I went back to work. It's like, yep, problem for another day. All right.
Yeah, mainly because I noticed a lot of my production had MK2 or 3s, not all the MK5s, and then maybe like mergers or splitters would have just a minute amount of conveyor between them, and you wouldn't notice it unless you delete them.
Yep.
So you're like, why is it going so slow through a particular, splitter or something?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of things like that where I want to get rid of and correct, I should say.
I hear you. I really liked my multi-story base, but I actually started dismantling it. It was just too many floors. There wasn't enough height per floor. And so I'm trying to come up with how I'm going to redesign my main base, level 8 base, and trying to work through that. What's the best way? On my new base in the North Sea, I have like a mezzanine, almost like a basement, like a crawl space, where I'm doing all the conveyors. That's my plan, is to do all the conveyors in the basement. and just send
Oh,
them up,
cubes.
send them up through the floor to wherever they need to go. Because I've really struggled making the conveyors look neat and nice. I mean, I have bazillions of correct, and you've done a really good job, I must say, on yours. You've done a very
Oh,
good job.
jeez, thank you.
Yeah, your conveyors look nice, but I struggle. Um, I may revisit the carousel. The carousel.
Oh, yeah, yeah, sure.
I may revisit that. The problem is, you know, the smart splitters are good. That's a very good start. But there's still some shortcomings in trying to put all your like, let's say, all your ingots on one conveyor and then feeding multiple, constructors, because it's just, even with smart splitters, you just end up with, unless you're going to do level 5 conveyors, and those are kind of expensive. So I don't know. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do yet.
Well, it's funny to say that. I somehow when I did MaceBite's first run, I thought, geez, level MK5 is going to be popular. So I did a ridiculous. I probably did like 10 refineries to make level 5 mock. The what do you call it? That all clad, A clad, aluminum clad,
Yes.
and that made a huge difference doing that up front because wow, just all the materials that you need to change everything over, to MK5 speeds. You know.
Well, and that's the thing. It's I find the whole aluminum process. It's one of the last processes you unlock,
Mm-hmm.
and I just find it to be I don't know, tedious.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm like, this is tedious. The water never flows right. One of them has a waste of water wastewater. It's like, well, I can't just dump that. I wish I could,
Mm-hmm.
because I know my pumps output water on a regular basis, and very
Yeah, and
stable.
there is a hard drive I unlocked that gave a recipe to make a lot of aluminum with water and coal or something, and that's why I want to get every single hard drive before I rebuild anything, because there's those kind of recipes that just makes just like the as we keep wanting to find the in this game, the screws. What the heck is going on
Yeah,
here?
that's my
You know,
favorite. Yep.
I mean that's such a time saver. Having the screws go right from an ore or an
Yeah,
iron ingot.
right from the ingot to screws without having to go to rods first. That's huge. Unfortunately, that recipe is not where it was for me twice, which is right up here.
Oh man, what is going on? There's some glitch going on here. There's a conveyor that material goes up on and just stops. I had to delete it and rebuild it, and now it flows. Wow, like a conveyor pull,
Hmm.
and like these what are these steel tubes? It went up to the steel to where the conveyor pull is, and did not go onto the conveyor that's connected to it.
Yeah, I wonder how many of those are real glitches and how many are visual glitches.
Well, I look in the manufacturer, and it wasn't increasing in steel pipes.
Well, then that's probably not just a visual glitch then.
Yeah, yeah, that's yeah. But I deleted and reran it, and now it runs.
Well,
It's
if it
okay.
works, if it works, it's hard to complain, huh?
Yeah. And now here's a visual one where it's definitely disappearing as it turns in the conveyor into the unit, but the screw count's going up into the assembler. So
That's probably
that
a
I don't care
visual.
about. Yeah, that I don't care about, right? All right, I'm gobbling up your screws.
Yeah, please, built them for you. We have a
Awesome.
lot of those extra. Early on, we kind of ran a lot of iron ore over there,
Mm-hmm.
and so there are a lot of there's a lot of stuff, just raw materials hanging around.
So I'm almost done with this production line. So I might be able to do some train building here. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Get things on track.
Man, I love having the jetpack.
Yeah, I've just been popping around with it right now too. It's very nice.
I watched some YouTube videos, and it appears a lot of the very fancy maps you see, they're built in using either mods, well, mostly using mods, to enable like a god mode or a creator mode. And there's a flying mode too. There's a command you can do just to fly around everywhere. So like we're playing in survival, right? We have to unlock what we use. We have to build what the materials we need.
Mm-hmm.
And but a lot of people, especially those big fancy ones you see online, those were built in either God mode or creative mode,
I see.
where they didn't actually have to pay their dues. That's probably not
Gotcha.
the right thing to say, but
Yeah, I get you.
you know what I'm coming
And
from.
that's like Space Engineers, where you could be administrator and just,
Yes.
you have endless materials and things.
So I got 4 mines. I'm going to need 4 sets of 3 smelters. I'll leave that there for now. So we can expand outward.
Okay.
Wonder what this is going to do to our power plants. We should have so much excess power between our 2 coal facilities and then the oil facility I built, which is 10 power generators. Okay, so this will be my iron smelters.
Oops. Right. So, are there computers here somewhere? I could use like 20.
You can take all the computers you want from the container downstairs and the steel mill, but remember I rediverted the steel up to the main plant, so it's no longer making computers. That's what you're doing.
Right. Okay.
But
So if I go
there were
steel
some
mill-
down, yeah. Take all the steel, all the computers and modular frames. What are they called? Not reinforced modular frames, heavy duty modular frames. Take them all, but that's it. Those production lines are off.
Down. Got it.
They're not off, but they're just probably could turn them off. But there's no supplies.
Oh, it is.
It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense to bring the plastic all the way down there.
Yep. Oh, much in your truck deliveries. They're a riot.
Oh yeah, that worked out better than I thought.
And they're jumping too. Like all of a sudden they're one position, then boom, all of a sudden they're like.
Oh, that's lag. You're just seeing lag.
Too funny.
Every time we think we have a lag problem, I check my speed, you check your speed, and we're fine. So it's just something inherent to the game, I guess.
Oh, apparently that's not a road. Okay. Yeah. I just literally fell off your road. I didn't know that I couldn't slip there.
My road? Which road?
When you go down to the steel mill here,
Oh.
and there's a 2 truck loading pads. If you turn right, that's not a road.
There's no visible way to see where the road starts at the top of that hill. You're absolutely right, and it wasn't done on purpose that way. It was just it was a timing. It was like there was no time. Everything I was trying to do.
Oh, I think what you've done here is just fabulous. Really, pal. Just pretty funny more than anything else.
Those are the. Oh man, I did the wrong one. It's supposed to be the middle one. Duh. Yeah, so those are the kind of things in my single player map I'm fixing. trying to
Mm-hmm.
put like. There was one I did when I was building my train line. There was a place where I thought when you go into the oil fields, I'm like, for sure, somebody's going to drive right off this into the abyss. And so I put some of those low red walls. So if you're driving to the oil island, you'll know when you see the red walls that's a
Well, I
cliff.
just put some little small half walls there so nobody else could do it. I just did.
That's what I was talking about. Those little orange
Yep.
walls.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, one of the things I think they do need to work on for the next release is making turns, because I posted a video in the Discord about how people are making turns,
Mm-hmm.
like curving roads and whatnot, and it's a very long process. I mean, if you're not a college kid, or if you're not, if you're single and bored, yeah, all right, that sounds like fun. But if you got responsibilities, it's like, yeah, dude, that's like totally, in my opinion, not worth it.
Yeah, I saw that video. It talked about doing smooth turns and all that. Yeah, that was a lot. I hear you.
That was a lot of work, and it looked beautiful. It did look beautiful, but at the end of the day, I was like, no.
As in, take a long day to do it.
As in, yeah, it's just I think the return on investment there, unless you're not responsible for bringing home the bacon, the return on investment was not high.
Yeah.
In my opinion, again, for some people that may be
I hear
worth
you.
it.
Yep.
I guess I should run power over here too. Tap into the mother grid. Part of me wants to build another mezzanine to run that. But yeah, I can see having a lot of fun just making the factories look nice. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yep.
Because there's so many different things you can do with the materials they give you for that purpose. There's all these different objects you can unlock, and like you can put lanes in your factory. There's decals for the roads and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not low enough. How low can you go?
Oh. I just drove by the loading dock and I think my buggy got filled with stuff. I forgot about that.
Oh, your train?
Oh, ow. A truck just ran into me. It came out of nowhere. Like it wasn't there, then all of a sudden it appeared right in front of me.
Yeah, that's definitely a networking glitch.
That was pretty funny.
So, the loading dock will not fill you up unless you choose to be filled up. You have to press the F key to load.
Really?
Just so you know, yeah.
Oh.
Unless it's glitching on you. You actually have to press a button to load up. It even asks you, it says, do you want to load up? And I always drive by and I'm like, don't press that button.
Oh. Because when I was driving, what's the big thing? A truck. When I first tried these, my main character there, I'd go by and all of a sudden it'd just fill.
Well, did you have it on auto driving or not?
No, I was just mainly driving it.
Yeah, then it won't. Try it. Try it. I've done it many times. Try it. Maybe it's glitched.
Well, I just went by and it didn't load me. I thought
Good.
it would. So yeah, it gave the E real quick. Do you want to load or something? But I was going by too
something
fast.
like that, right?
So
Yeah.
this time it worked perfectly. Yeah.
Well, at least it worked
Oh, you
great
know what?
once.
I'm sorry. It wasn't cargo. It was fuel. That's what it was.
Oh, did it
That's right.
refuel you automatically?
Yeah, so I drove by pretty fast, and it just refueled the truck.
That's
That's what it
cool.
was.
I like that.
Because I had oil right next to it, and I was making fuel right next to it, and packaging fuel right next to it, and it was right next to the whole. In fact, that's what the delivery I set up what the truck was to deliver fuel on my first demo kind of test thing. Okay, gonna build some trains, buddy.
Yes, have a blast. Did you find enough materials down there?
Well, oops, I forgot motors. I have everything but some motors.
There may be motors down there. I don't remember.
Yes, I'm already back with computers that I needed. Thank you.
Nice.
Oh, these are blue, so those are probably spies. And oh, these are green, so those are yours. Okay.
Yeah. But if you need something out of mine, take it. I have no idea what's in mine. So if you need something that's in my container, take it.
Okay, thank you. I'll use it as a backup. I've been using the just in case anybody else wanted what I had. I've been using the things by the hub.
Yeah, those are kind of the what would you call them? The common ones, I think.
Just for a joke for the future, I put a MK3 miner on a Sam ore, just in case, someday.
Oh
Well,
yeah, so you're collecting it because someday it may be good.
I threw it into a container, and I'm guessing it's going to be a super coal fuel. Like you can put it into a coal generator and give you a lot of power.
Maybe.
Because it's really black and gooey looking. I could be wrong, but that's just my guess.
Well, because nobody's using it right now, they may even change it. They could say, you know what? We decided we're not going to do Sam ore. And that would be like, oh, really?
Yeah.
But more often than not, it's something they probably wanted to get in the release. It just didn't make the cut, so it got whatever it was. They just didn't get to it. Typically, these guys have they plan out well, way more than they can do. They have their switch goals and all that.
I think you said it that they're it looks like the new release might be in another month or two.
Oh, did you read that? No, I did not. I haven't actually been looking for the new release, but I thought it was going to be a year after 5, and 5 is not that old. How old is 5? Well, maybe 6 months. I would like to see a new release. I would indeed.
Yeah, I'd even pay for it.
It'd be nice if they had an expansion. I actually put a note in their thing, and I said, you should do a spin-off, call it Trains. Because there's really no good multiplayer Trains games. Like, there are multiplayer Trains games, but not a lot, and then they're just not as good as Satisfactory, I'll just put it that way.
Well, yeah, as we found out, it's a shame. Seemed kind of exciting that, that other game seemed kind of fun, and all of a sudden it just really didn't really pan out, did it?
Yeah, it's I think the problem with the game was it's just early in the game you really do nothing. It's like spend 5 minutes building the railroad and then wait an hour. It's like, well, that's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I'm glad I have my jetpack. It's like that, for co-op, that's not fun. But even for single player, it wouldn't be fun. Like even Sim City from the original Sim City, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had it nailed. You didn't have to wait more than a couple minutes to see if whatever you did was going to work and the city was going to live or die. And there was ways to borrow money and not fail the game. And you found out the first couple times you play that you would borrow so much money you'd be like, oh well, I shouldn't have done this, and then you start a new map. But I didn't see any way to. I mean, we played 3 or 4 times. I didn't see any way to, or more. I didn't see any way to accelerate. making money, you know?
Yeah, and I'm afraid that a lot of games are like that. You know,
It's a
it was
grind.
actually boring in Elite a little bit until we found Quince and all those other things. And then they keep nerfing them. It's like, what the heck's wrong with you guys? You know, I mean, it really, it was so great. Like my carrier, like there's no way I'd have a carrier now. I mean, I could get diamonds 120, 250, million every hour and a half. I mean, there's no way you could do that now.
You know, there is still these recycled ideas that keep going around and around in games. And one of them is that people like to grind. Well, you know what? I would disagree with that. I would say that people do not want to just do brain dead repetitive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people don't mind, like what I'm doing right now, right? All right, this is slightly repetitive, but what I'm doing is I'm building a brand new factory from scratch. I've never built this factory before, right? I built similar ones, but I'm doing something. You know, I'm not just sitting here. You know, I'm actually doing something. I'm building. You know, in Elite, as much as I like Elite, I spent most of my time staring at Super Cruise. You know.
Yep.
After 6 years, that could just get old for me.
Yep. Totally hear you.
One of the reasons we like Destiny is we got, I don't know, let's say it was an 8-hour story. We played through it at co-op, and then we played through it again as a different character. So maybe we were a hunter, and then we're like, well, we already played through it once, but there's another character with all different abilities that we could
Yes.
try, right?
Yes.
And so that was, thank goodness for my jetpack. Saying that quite a bit. So I thought it made it fun because you were trying it as a new character.
Right. I hear you and agree.
Trying to be efficient with space, but also trying not to clip anything, and everything's so close over here. So those are some random thoughts.
Well, I like the idea of both, like the way space engineers did it, where you could just have unlimited materials and just have fun building, creating, whatever. And then I had the regular story, and you do normal stuff and progression. So it gave you an option.
Yeah, I'm you know, I think if you have a lot of free time on your hands, creative is great. You can just build your art. It's like having virtual Legos, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have that kind of time. Like I game twice a week. I stream. I play with you, and sometimes spy, and that's the extent of my gaming. So, well, no, sometimes my wife will be watching something I don't like, and so I do like survival because you actually don't have unlimited resources. You have to, like for right now, I wanted iron, so I have to build 4 mines and bring power to them. I feel like I'm really building something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just like you have an unlimited palette, you can build as much as you want.
Sure.
And I find that funner than the unlimited palette. I'm sure artistic types, or creative types would prefer just the unlimited palette. They don't want to survive. They want to create, and I totally get that. And they create some beautiful, beautiful things.
Yeah, I respect both opinions, absolutely. And that's why I say to me it makes sense to have the game be able to do either.
I did like the blueprinting feature. That's something else Satisfactory could add, is blueprinting. You know, I thought the people who did Space Engineers really did a really good job. It wasn't perfect by any means. But you would put a holographic emitter up, or a projector up, and it would put the blueprint, and then you could build, you know?
Oh yeah, sure.
Remember that? I thought that was very well done. Now, I have the 4 mines going. This is going to have to go.
What is Spice Train doing? I see it running around.
It's supposed to be bringing back crystals, I believe.
Oh yeah, sure.
It may be.
He's manufacturing them. Yep.
Yeah,
I see that.
Once it fills up, it just goes around in circles with nothing to do, you know?
Yeah, we'll stop at each location, but then just won't empty or load, yeah.
Yeah, it knows. It's like, yeah, I can't. Like, I'll watch mine pull in, and it's already emptied everything that I was transferring. So it pulls in, it sits there for a second, then it takes off again.
And you can set that. So on Mace Speed,
really?
I have that as, yeah, I have it as 1 minute in case they want to hop on it to ride it.
Oh, that's nice. I should probably set it for like 30 seconds in case I want to jump on.
It's happened repeatedly where I just want to get like to where it was going.
Yeah, exactly. I think I clocked mine at 120 something kilometers per hour.
Yeah, they move. Yeah, they.
I don't know that I've gotten my buggy much over 100. So my buggy can never keep up. Can never keep up with it.
Yeah, Explorer. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't tried. That's interesting.
Well, why don't you drive next time you're free? Drive out here and we'll do it. I'll race you on my train.
There you go. Sure.
It's a really nice wide road I built, so just so you know.
Well, knowing Spy, of course, maybe the 3 of us should have a race someday.
Yeah, I think knowing you guys, I think I'd want to put the bumpers on the side of the road first. I hope that didn't come out wrong. Did I say that out loud? We have so much fun doing that. But I know I would get knocked off and died and fall to my death. Wouldn't it be great if the parachute worked in the buggy too? So.
Well, yeah, you can hit E and hop out and then parachute.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be great if it would parachute your buggy down?
Yeah, absolutely, and not
While
kill
you're
it.
sitting
Yeah.
in it?
Yep. Oh, I never went back to the single coal generators it's cranking away. That's cute. Jeez, I should probably add a couple more. Where are we anyways?
I gave up.
1200, yeah.
I gave up. I ended up just going with one water dog per 2. I'm sorry, one water dog per 2 coal power plants because I was having. It's just the wiring. I was just having problems. It's so awkward.
Yep. Yeah, the nuclear's that way too. It's kind of a headache.
I'm like, what's an extra power? What's an extra water thing? It's nothing really.
Yes.
It's just not to have that headache, you know. I know there's another copper out here. I thought there was. Is it up above me? There's that one. Yeah, I think it's up this hill. One thing I did grab, I should have, was ammo.
Oh, that's what I didn't get back to. I was in the middle of making automatic ammo manufacturing. Oh, jeez. Alright, I'll do that later, I guess.
I don't know. I think getting the plastic up is probably more important.
I guess.
Even
Yes,
if it's just one car, you know? Go on bringing
yes.
one car up at a time. That would still be pretty awesome.
Yep. I'm almost done setting up the train station here, and then I'll go down there, and it won't be long.
Now, you know when before you go down the hill, I have that little. I think it's making some cement right at the top of the hill.
I think so.
I think there is some other stuff around the top of that hill We may end up wanting to put another train station at the top of the hill before you go across the lake.
Okay.
So just
It's
FYI.
oh sure, it's very easy to insert one later if you want. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know why it's so hot up here. I know it was a really warm day, but I thought it would have cooled off by now. Reverse the fan. That's why I run the AC all summer. It just gets so hot upstairs.
Sure.
You have whole house AC. We have window units.
Yeah. My niece has got a little fixer-upper. She's so excited about first house and all that.
Oh yeah, you
And I
were
was
telling me. Yeah.
helped her, and she's got central air in the thing. It's like 600 square feet, just a cute little place, but it has central air, and it wasn't working, so I had to help her with that. And now it does. So maybe to use it today. I'll have to ask her when I see her Sunday.
Yeah, it was just a beautiful day. I had to work inside. I'm doing lessons. I got a few more lessons to do before I can call it a week. It's funny because you can record a lesson, but the editing takes so much longer. And creating the lesson plans takes forever too. I mean, I spent so much time creating my curriculum. It's like when you're in business for yourself, you can't use somebody else's curriculum. They don't. It's not like if you're teaching college or high school or any school really. There are companies that sell curriculum. There's no companies in my space that sell good curriculum. The music sounds like it's from Daft Punk. It's pretty good in my opinion.
Ugh, that looks bad.
I do like the sound of birds and wildlife.
Sure.
Remember the first time I was working on the oil down here. You know, it was no, it was the coal. And it was hilarious because I crossed, I connected the two sides of the shore because most of the coal is on the other side of the shore. And so I connected the two sides and I turned around and I got killed from behind by a spider.
Oh, sheesh.
A big one of the big ones,
Sure.
I didn't even know he was there, It's like he must have been roaming the other side of the shore looking for prey, and I became supper.
Ugh. Yeah, I hate those things.
It's like,
But you know what? I gotta say, they're better than the fire breathers, And if you have a hover, you can just hover over and kill them. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I agree with you on the hovers, man. That allows you to hover right over them. No, and I told myself, you shouldn't connect it. Don't connect it. Why are you connecting it? And I still connected it, and then I found out why I wasn't supposed to connect it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of big ones, but then there's an elite one, which is massive. What the heck did I just do? Oh, really? I'm sorry, I'm talking about spiders again.
I just watched the first 3 Spider-Mans over the last week or two. And I remember why I kind of had the movies were full of guilt and full of love triangles or love stories, and I'm like, yeah, this is why I didn't like it. I ended up just sort of fast forwarding the lovey-dovey stuff where people were breaking up, getting back together, and breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, gee whiz, this must be great for a teenager of 13 years old. But what about an adult? Come on, guys. And I say that, I'm sure somebody out there, this is their favorite film ever, you know. But
I guess it depends which one. I mean, they made so many of them. I only know the new one that they made, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago.
Okay, so that's not new.
Yeah, right, it's not new. Yes.
I think the first 3 were like 2002, 2004, 2006. Those are the 3 I just watched. And then they have, I believe, the next one is 2012, 2014. And the new ones are, I'm out of wire. But I need to make wire. So it's like that, you know, they made them, you know, 2004, 2006. No, I think it was 2002, 2004, 2006. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Ouch, that hurt. We got ladders, right?
What the heck? Getting crazy. Oh, there we go. So do auto-save or something.
So I did
yes,
pick up
the...
I did pick the other ones up on sale. That's the second 2. They never made a third one. That one was called The Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh.
And those were like in the teens, like maybe 2012, 2014. And I think the newest ones are, I think they're my favorites. They're set in the Marvel universe with all the Marvel people we know. Like Iron Man and all that.
So you just marvel over them, huh?
Marvelous. It's marvelous. What am I looking for? Wire. I'm looking for... I don't think I have any. Well, I'll have to bang some out down there then.
Okay. We have a train station. We have cargo freight. Power for the train.
Might be able to just put a lift up there and lift all the plastic up.
I'm driving my new train down to the oil field.
Nice.
What do you call that, actually? It's not Oil Island, right? It's, what do you call that?
You know, I don't know. I'd have to look at the marker on the map.
Let's see. It just says oil.
Oh, really? Very creative.
Surprisingly, you are a creative person.
Yeah, the steel mill made sense. I think when I got there, I was like, this is oil. Because we had only found one oil at that point. I mean, we knew about Oil Island because we played before.
Yeah. Well, it's next to so much other stuff. You could call it oil next to the puddle or something. Uh-oh. Apparently I didn't finish the track here.
At least it doesn't derail.
Yeah, I know. Thank goodness, huh? Okay. Let's finish some track here. Oh, I know why. Because I was going to make stations here and I didn't have the parts. That was kind of it. I got interrupted. Right. Yeah, so I'm looking where I looked earlier today, and I see your 2 oil taps, and as you say, you're using one. Just behind that, there's 2 or 3 in that cave, and I think both of them at least. I think there was 2 pure ones in there we could use.
Yeah,
So
you'll
that'd be
see
cool.
that I've had 4 out of the 6 tapped. Can you do a scan?
Okay.
Do a scan.
Yeah.
See how many come up. Within, I don't know, 1,000 feet.
Well, yeah, you can hit map, which is cool, and then it shows you. So.
But you're only gonna see 2 new ones because I got, like I said, I put the extractors on 4 of them.
There's 6 here.
Yes, there's 6 there, and 4 of them already have oil wells on them. Oil extractors on them.
Oh, and I see that. Yeah, there's 2 hard drives, 3 hard drives in site 2 I went to earlier. Nice. So we got plenty of. We're gonna have lots of plastic and other stuff soon.
Yeah. But, like I said, the reason I only have 2 of the extractors wired up is because we didn't have anything to process. We're not even using all of that capacity yet.
Well, soon we're gonna go bananas needing plastic for circuit boards and all that.
I know. But we'll need more production capability. We get the oil. We got plenty of oil. We just don't have the machines to process it yet. Which, if you're ready to do that, go for it. We haven't sucked dry our plastic yet. What we're making now. It's kind of like, what do I work on next? Probably got to get the computers up and running because that's needed in so much.
Well, soon we're gonna start running out of power. We'll need to go nuclear, I think.
Oh,
that's
no
what I
way.
thought anyways.
No way. Give me a break.
Really, you don't think so?
No. I mean, if you want to go nuclear, then go. But we're not going to need it. Dude,
Okay.
I've finished the game twice without going nuclear.
Oh, but you didn't make the nuclear pastas, though, did you?
I did not do the final because
Yeah.
there's no advantage to.
Yeah, you're right. I got a gold cup. I thought it was going to be the quantum computers and all that, but I got a gold fix-it cup. That's all I got.
Yeah, so I'm not saying I'm not going to work on it. Like I said, I was working on that today. But it's it's not top of my list because you really get it.
Yeah, you get a attaboy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, that's not on the top of my list. So I'm trying to, I'm debating whether or not to. My first step was to combine my 3 maps because I put so much work in all 3 of them. And then it was the Worldwide Railroad, and then it was like, hey, let's see if I can build over the North Sea. And now I'm like, well, what do I want to do now? I'm like, oh, well, I'll build these things for the thing. Then I'm like, well, maybe instead I'll redo my, like you were thinking, redo my factory.
Well, I think that's kind of it too. Is it's really nice to have over 10,000 megawatts to not even think about powers. So you got many manufacturers, got all the redundancies of doing stuff real fast and stuff.
Yeah, and if that's the route you want to go for it. But we won't need it because trust me.
Yeah.
We have we have so much coal. The thing with the oil is, right? What do you do with the fuel if you don't turn it into electricity? Right?
Well, yeah, but 150 per, what do you call it, generator, right? The fuel generations are 150 megawatts. That, one manufacturer is 150 or 75, so maybe it's because I've done so many boosters before, with the...
well, the boost is definitely really suck down your power.
Yeah. The efficiency drops even though you get faster, whatever. Yep.
I'll have to give you a count of my next time I'm drinking a cup of coffee trying to wake up. I'll get a count of how many manufacturers I have. I have a ton, but not as much as you for sure. All right, I need another splitter here. You know what? I don't need a splitter because I'm going to put this right into a constructor. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do.
And then later, sometimes it's fun to have like a manufacturer making beacons for you, and they make the ammo for you, and those are the other things too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So when you have all these manufacturers everywhere, you start sucking up power left and right. But I'm good with anything really. I love it all.
No, if
Totally.
that's this is a cooperative, so you can go like I'm in Northern Forest right now. Go in any direction you want. What do you mean I'm out of cable? Did I take down my workbench already? Yeah, I did. But it's something fun to do while we chat, catch up, relax after a long day at work.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me going about work. Goodness.
Yes, we no work at talk at game night.
I'm glad I don't get stressed over it. I care, but I don't get stressed over it.
Yeah, I used to have this great Dilbert picture, Release the Caring. And they would say, you can't think that. I'm like, it's the only way I'm staying alive. So, I gotta tell you about this thing I stumbled across.
Sure.
Okay, this is like conspiracy theory meets sci-fi.
There's a title.
Okay, you ready for this?
Sure. Lay it on.
So I've gotten into this habit in the mornings where I'll listen to YouTube videos as I sit drinking my coffee next to my wife, you know. And she reads, she does a lot of email. And so while I'm waking up, I'll just, after I finish with the web and there's nothing else to read, I'm like, well, let's see. Because a lot of YouTube videos, they're very informational. Like, you don't actually have to hear them because YouTube now does all the closed captioning.
Oh, alright.
So I don't know if you've done that, but like if you really want to hear a YouTube but you can't play your speakers, just turn on closed captioning, And that's the cool thing is if you when you first go to YouTube, there's a page and it shows you all these little thumbnails of videos.
Yes.
So you can just highlight it. You don't actually have to click on it. You can just highlight one of the thumbnails and you can start reading the captions as it plays. So a lot of times I'll just go through and I'll just put my mouse over a thing and read it for a while, and if it keeps my interest, I'll stay reading it. If it doesn't, I'll move on to the next one.
Yeah.
And a lot of them start off with like music and all this. Some people really want just a whole show. I just want information, more information. So, in any case, I'm trying to think of what I got to do next here.
Yeah, right.
I stumbled across this video about Looking Glass. Now, ever hear the? Did you ever hear the? I guess conspiracy theory about Looking Glass.
It sounds familiar. It really does.
So, did you ever see the movie Paycheck with Ben Affleck?
Oh.
Where he was paid to create a monorless, but then they had to erase his memory. He had to create a 3D. He had to backward engineer a 3D monitor, and he went into a vault and they erased his memories of the backward engineering.
Okay. Does sound
then
familiar.
it has the girl from Kill Bill in it too. Yuma, is it Yuma?
Uma Thurman?
Yes, Uma Thurman.
Okay.
Something like that. Anyways, did you ever see that movie?
It sounds familiar. A while ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in that movie, the first company you see him hired to is like there's a computer company that came out with a holographic display for a laptop. And so they hire him to reverse engineer it, but he has to take a mind wipe drug after he's
Mhm.
done, so he doesn't remember what he did. He just knows he got paid to do something.
Oh,
That
sheesh.
way, if anybody's called in the court, they can't say they copied anybody, I guess. It's still copying
Hmm.
them, but...
Wow.
So his next client is this really rich guy, right? And it's somebody he knew from childhood. And the guy's like filthy rich. And so he hires him. I need rods. I don't even have enough rods to build a workbench. So anyways, so he hires him, and I'm kind of telling the movie. So anyways, it turns out when they erase his, so after the job's done, they take him in the office, they erase his mind, they give him a paycheck. Well, apparently, he got, right? So when he was done the job, it took a long time, right? When he was done the job, all he got was like a manila envelope full of useless things, like a paperclip and a matchbox and a key card. It was like all
Wow.
this worthless stuff. He's supposed to get paid 10 million or some crazy
Yeah.
amount, right? And
Something
that's
really
all he
worth it.
got.
Yep.
Yep, he got like 10 different things. And so if you haven't seen the movie yet, it's really good. I highly recommend it. And now I'm going to go into a spoiler. So you
Mhm.
have to mute
Okay.
this, mute if you don't. So the thing he developed was a device that was able to, using quantum physics and all this stuff, able to um, look look into the future.
Okay.
So don't know how it did it, but it somehow looked into the future. And he saw in the future that they killed him right after they paid him.
Oh, sheesh.
So that's why he said, I don't want the money, I want these clues, which will help me figure out what they erased my mind for so I can live.
Oh, wow.
And I
Okay.
think the last clue was a winning lottery ticket. So he wouldn't be poor either.
Ah. Okay.
But it was a really good show,
Wow.
so that's the end of the spoilers. So anyways, that is, there's a lot of rumors about whether it be CERN, which is the Large Hadron Collider. You know what I'm talking about?
Hmm.
It's a particle
I don't think.
accelerator. Don't they have particle accelerators in this?
Oh, yeah. Sure. Oh, sure. Yeah. 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 Right.
That's
Mhm.
the one on the between Switzerland and France.
Mhm.
It's a
Mhm.
huge ring on the ground.
Mhm.
So
I
some
didn't
people.
know where it was, but yeah.
Okay, so that's the largest in the world. There's a big one in Texas. They were going to build an even bigger one in Texas, but they
Ah,
scrapped the plan
yes.
for it. I don't know
Okay.
why they scrapped it, but in any case, long story short, there's been all kinds of rumors like that's really what that's all about is, they do some science on it, but the real goal is to, create a way to look back in the time, or look forward in the time to see the future and all this. There's
Yeah.
also people who say that there is this artifact called the Looking Glass that came from somewhere, whether it was designed by, secret scientists or is an ancient relic, who knows, right?
Mhm.
So anyway, so that's why I'm saying science fiction, right?
Mhm.
So there's people in the UFO world, right? Like ex government officials who said that's what they did. Their job was to, investigate UFOs and all that. Who believe that there is this thing called the Looking Glass where you can see the future. So that's kind of the basis for our discussion. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Looking Glass is apparently, allegedly, I guess is the right word, is this device that allows you to look into the future. And apparently, I need to make. I'm always broke. I need to make more cable. So apparently, they saw two possible futures, and
Mhm.
one of them, in one of them, what do I need? I need wire. Okay. In one of them, the rich people from today, right? They're kind of coordinating to like make a world government like where they're the ones who make all the decisions, not politicians elected by the people, but more of a through this, that, and the other thing, they'll find a way to put themselves in power, right, for the good of the people,
Mm.
And they already pretty much control the world, but they random people get elected to Congress and they can't control or the European Parliament or wherever, and it really vexes them that they can't control the world and stop all these boondangles and all these side. So I need the cable now. The other future was that the people figure out what these billionaires are doing, and they find a way to stop them from taking control of the world government.
Oh.
Okay. It was really, really interesting. I went through all of that to tell you that it was extremely, extremely interesting, and some people believe it. And I'm thinking, and so what made it worse is these people who they're supposedly ex government officials. They've retired and kind of banded together to form a group to try to stop the billionaires from the cabal, the billionaires, the rich people from taking over the world. And here's the funny thing, or scary thing. This is where it turns dark. They released a video, right? It's just text, right? And it's just text with somebody narrating it, right?
A text.
So text.
Oh, okay.
It's just text.
Yep.
It's a video that's all text, just words.
Got it.
And somebody's narrating it, and it kind of scrolls up the screen. And they here's what they say, right? So this is where it kind of gets creepy. They say on Monday, right? Like they released this 3 weeks ago. They say on Monday that the powers that be are going to release a dirty bomb in a major city, right? To try to get more countries to come to the aid of the people in Ukraine. And I'm like, well, they didn't plan this out very well, because this is going to be very short-lived. If this is not true, if they don't have a machine that looks into the future, they're going to have a hard time explaining this on Monday. It could be the shortest. But then again, I was thinking about it. I'm like, all right, wait a minute. Maybe these are the people. Maybe they're crazy and they're going to do it. But I'm like, well, it's on YouTube and all the other video sites. So I'm like, I don't know. Is it science fiction? Pretending to, like, War of the Worlds, is it science fiction? Pretending to be fact? But yeah, the whole thing, and they go through this whole story about the billionaires wanting to take over the world government because they don't think the politicians do a good job, and they just want to rule by fiat. And, of course, it implies like they want to get rid of minimum wage, and they want everybody to live in, worker housing. Like if we go back to the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, before unions and all that. All that's implied in there. They think, hey, why should you own a house? Why should you own a car? You should just be working and eating, and that's it.
Wow.
Which quite honestly happens in China today. It happens other places too. I mean, they find sweatshops in New York City every once in a while. Where people bring in immigrants and have them making stuff. So which is so horrible. It's like, how do they get right underneath our noses? How does this happen?
Yeah, it's amazing how many people paid off of the dogs to let anything in our country.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's the root cause of it, right?
Well, it's not even it's not just the docks. It's at the border. People are paid to let people smuggle people in, not inspect the truck. And that's why I always been for full transparency. If you're importing, there has to be full transparency. Don't tell me I can't look at in your container. You know, if you don't like our rules, just don't import. You know, we don't need your stuff. But anyway, so they were like, oh yeah, on Monday, there's going to be an attack to try to draw the U.S. into the war. And I'm like, dude, this is a little scary because we'll know if you're right or not, and just it's like we're gonna know very soon if you're full of it or not. But yeah, kind of scary stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, if all these things happen, it's gonna be a nuclear war. And I'm like, oh geez, don't talk like that, please. You're ruining my day.
Well, yeah, it's there's way too much reality going on right up overseas right now. It is difficult to not be concerned.
Well, my wife was like, well, how do we know he's not going to use nukes? And I'm like, I feel 100% confident that if he gave the order, he would be dead. You know, if he, and I think the same would happen. I hope the same would happen with our people. If one of our leaders tried to do a first strike, I would hope the Secret Service or somebody would take him out. That's
I
just
think,
unacceptable.
I don't think it'll be one person. You're right. I still have confidence that our government has its flaws. I think, I agree. I think it's not going to be just, our president won't be just a general. It's going to be
Well, that's where
everybody
people come
like
with the
get
cabal. It's
together.
like, there's no way one person could get all this done. You know what I'm saying? So that's where people come up with this cabal idea. Is there has to be, or cabal, there has to be a group of people working on this, right?
Hmm.
And so, you know, I don't want to talk about politics or anything, but we know there's already 3,000 people working on the FISA papers, and there are people at Pfizer and the FDA that are going to go to jail. It's happened before, and it's happening again. And you know, and you know, the movie that's coming out in May, early May, it's going to blow you away. What they have on videotape of people shoving ballots in the ballot boxes is disgusting. And they got paid 50 grand. 50 grand
Yes.
for a month's worth of work. I mean,
Yeah.
that's some good money. If you think about it, that's good money. Would you agree?
And oh yeah, yeah. It's to the type of people, no insult intended. You know, they don't. That's not the kind of money they make easily. You know.
No, I don't think many of them were college graduates. They look like they actually look like they're you know, recently out of high school, and you know, the times have been tough, man. I mean, I have 4 kids, 4 adult children. Times it's been hard to find jobs. I mean, my son was just blessed with a great job, but he was getting really nervous because time was going on and he was
Yep.
finding nothing, you know. So I don't blame people, you know. You know, ignorance is no reason to break the law, right? But then again, if somebody says, hey, you want to make 50 grand? You're just going to go to these 20 drop boxes every night and put 15 of these ballots in every night.
Yes, I agree. It's easy to be sympathetic for the people that had said yes.
Yeah, no, it is. And I'm one of the people that say, look, let's do an amnesty. You know, these are not, you know, axe murderers. These are just regular citizens who are down on their luck. I'm like, you know, let's give them amnesty. Just tell us everything that you did. You know, the point being that, you know, that if we know exactly how it was planned, it won't happen again, you know. Just let's get right by the, hey, oh, you can't prove I did it, because we can. So now the next step is, look, let's do amnesty. You know, tell us the whole story, tell us everything you did, and but you can never, you know, you can never use a Dropbox again.
Yeah, really.
you these people on average casting like thousands, tens of, you know, I don't know. I kind of lost track of how many each person. They were doing like 20 drop boxes a night, 15 ballots per drop box. And they did it for a month, over a month. because of early voting. Some states, each state had different
Yeah,
early voting
wow.
hours. So it's
Wow.
like, you know, I would do an amnesty. These people. Why would you know? It's like when they would find somebody with like a joint and they would put him in jail for 5 years. It's like, really, one joint cigarette and he goes to jail for 5 years? Come on. How about 100 hours of community service? A lot of those people were young kids too, you know. Anywho, so if you don't see a dirty bomb go off Monday in a major metropolitan city, we can say, all right, this was just sci-fi. Nice try, guys. Nice try. And I pray that it doesn't happen because that wouldn't be good.
No. Alright, I just found a hard drive and threw it in the MAM.
Awesome.
It's way, you know, up on the hill from the oil rig here.
Yeah, that was the way I wanted to do that map as well with all the things on it so you could see them all in case you were down
Yeah,
with the train.
there's like 5 or 6 in this immediate area.
Yeah.
I just found them today.
Oh, you did it on your own map. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I know I'm pretty good where they are. Although you're right, that map is just gold, and that thing, that website. I sent a $10 donation through PayPal.
Oh, nice. I gotta
You
do
know,
it
I
too.
mean, it just, God bless those people. You know, I don't care if they have a lot of time and not in the hands. Those are the kind of people I appreciate a lot. Whoa, I just fell off. Oh, thank you, Jetpack.
Yeah,
Say,
I've been the ads he has running just drive me nuts. So I have been using a website that blocks ads, a web browser, because I just, especially you get stuck in a full size ad after you change from full size back to regular size. It's like, really?
you have a sync down here.
Hmm?
I don't see one. You don't have a sync down here, right?
No.
Okay.
You really need to have a sync everywhere.
Well, that's what you do, right? You just get rid of the water, get rid of extra fuel.
Oh, you
or
can't put
whatever.
water into a sync, can you?
So yeah, you package it first.
Ah, that's probably what I should have done. Is just package the water.
Oh yeah, look at all that plastic. Nice. This is a nice little gold. Oh, there's your your beacons in the water and here.
Oh, nice.
And this is what you mean when you run around. You hear squish, squish, squish. That's what you meant.
Yes.
It's technically right on the edge. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
I think it's you can't see it, but you can hear it with your feet. At least I couldn't
Yep.
see it.
No, I don't either. But here, squish, squish, squish,
Yep,
squish, like your shoes are full of
exactly.
liquid. I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, ooh. You know what? I should really put the screws here on the end.
Put the screws to it, huh?
Yeah. No, I should put the screws on the other end. All right, so let's take these out. Turn this over to plates. Yeah, so when that movie comes out, I'll send you a link to it. It's supposed to be. So the law was, the guidance was, if you're do a Dropbox, you have to have 24/7 surveillance on it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of places delete the video, which is highly illegal. But there was enough of them, like a quarter of them, that did not. You know, they were actually following what they call the law. And so there's just some phenomenal video. Plus the group bought all the cell phone data. So everybody's cell phone has it's like a serial number. It's the IMEI, I think it is, number. So did you ever get a new phone and have to add it to your plan? You have to type in one of those really long numbers.
Yeah. In fact, when I got Pam's a while back, a couple years ago, the SIM card didn't work right, so I had to do something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's an IMEI or IEMI or something like that. I've done it a few times to get phones working, and well, what they do is like your name's not tied to that, and that's some of the big data that these companies sell. And so they bought, I think it was 2 petabytes of data. It was trillions of data points. No, well, no, I think it was trillions. No, I think it is trillions, but it totaled up to 2 petabytes.
Hmm.
And so what they did with it is they used geofencing to say, all we care about is people who walked next to they had to walk next to the Dropbox, right?
Hmm.
So the problem is that it took the computers a long time to go through because there's just so much data. The data actually cost $2 million. They actually ran. This is True to Vote. They're like an independent election integrity group. So, anyways, because it took the computer so long to crunch the data, they ended up doing something like, okay, I only want to see people who stopped at 5 NGOs and visited at least 15 Dropboxes. So they, as a filter, right? You would have to stop at 5 NGOs, 5 non-government organizations who are involved in an election, who are trying to support the election. So you have to 5 different ones, not just like the Democrat or the Republican. You have to stop by 5 of them, 5 different ones, and then you would have to visit this during the same period of time. You'd have to visit 15 Dropboxes. And they were doing that because they didn't want to get, grandma who's out walking her puppy every day, You know what? I'm not going to do that. And they found hundreds of people. And then they cross-referenced that with the video of the Dropboxes. And that's where they found the same people going every day, stuffing multiple. It's illegal to put more than one ballot in a Dropbox. In some places, you can put your spouse or family members in as well. You only can put one in at a time. They purposely make the slot small, so to make it hard to put more than one in at a time. It's not like a mailbox, right, where you can stick a whole package in.
Yeah.
So they cross-reference these people. So this is not grandma, because grandma's not going to go to the DNC, Democrats for Voting Rights and all these other places 5 times a day and go to 15 Dropboxes while they're walking the dog. It's just not going to happen, right? So then they cross-referenced that with the videos they had. Now they didn't have videos for every Dropbox. They had them for about, I think, a quarter of them. And that's where they got the video of these people shoving ballots in every single day, just loading up the ballot boxes. It kind of makes you sick when you see it. It's kind of like you kind of feel like your government let you down because these tapes should have been reviewed daily.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And nobody reviewed them at all.
Yep.
It's almost like having a bank with the security cameras, but nobody looks at the security cameras. So there's employees that are taking bags of money out every night,
Which happens.
Well, it does.
I mean,
it does, especially when nobody's watching the farm,
That's the bottom line. Even the best people need regulations. Sometimes
trust but verify, right? That's my favorite phrase. Trust but verify.
The best people in the world just get tempted. Just like, I don't know how many times do you know somebody that's a really good person, but they drive recklessly or they speed. I'm shocked how many really nice people, and I'm like, well, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing 75, 80 and it's a 55? I mean, hello?
Oh yeah, 55, that's way too fast.
I mean, it's just, yeah. And I can't tell you how many times I see that, and I'm like, there's like some sales guys they will drive with.
Yeah, I mean, the cops will tell you, if you're on the highway, if you're not doing 10 or more, they usually won't pull you over. And most of the time, everybody's doing 10 over the limit, so it's easy to do 10 over the limit without standing out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have the people who have to drive 55 and the 65. It's like, dude, I gotta get to work. I wish I was retired, but I'm not. Especially because in our job, my old job and your current job, you gotta drive around during the day when grandma and grandpa are out there. I probably should say great grandma and great grandpa because I am a grandpa.
There you go. Okay.
But man, I was a really good driver before I quit. I'm kind of rusty. I don't drive much anymore.
You know, it's funny you'd say that. When I went out to a customer yesterday, and it was just actually catch up on lunch. It was really nice. And you know, I've been to the restaurant probably 4 times in the past 2 years, 2.5 years.
Wow.
Everything's been takeout, you know, curbside, everything. And there we go. Let's see what I got. Let me check out the hard drive. So, you know, when I was driving, like, wow, you know, the only trips I've done is see my sister or other things, but oh, what's this now? Oh, this is a good one. This is heavy oil and wire makes cable, because you always have too much heavy oil residue. Is that good for you?
I'm going to let you make the decision because I don't know. Your factory's bigger than mine, so.
Ah! Compliment. Very nice of you.
Yeah, you've I think like I haven't really focused on them, on the hard drives.
I
At
didn't
some point
realize.
I need to, but
Well, it's just like the screw one. It's amazing how
oh yeah,
you're like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. It does this and that, and like there's one that does. Oh, okay. You know the silica, like the pads. It's called silica.
yes,
The white looking pillows. There's one that goes right from, what do you call it? Right from the quartz.
Oh, that's nice.
Like if I do, unless I'm crazy, but I think that's it. It's this silica SIL. No, that's a standard recipe. That's not the one I'm thinking of. It's something else like that.
I know there's one for fabric you told me about, which is like everybody would want that one, right?
Well, we already have it. In
Oh,
fact, that's what I was. Once this is doing plastic to regular, that's what I picked the other day. It's polymer resin, which is a byproduct of, you know, crude oil, and water makes fabric. So we don't have to chase around after mycelium, whatever you call that stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're already there. Anyways, well, there's another example. While finding that a hard drive, now we got unlimited fabric for different purposes. Okay, let's get some plastic up to this train puppy here. Where am I? Right above here.
Yeah, you know, people are very social. And today people don't realize it. We're social beings, you know. And we gotta get out.
Sure.
We gotta, you know, we gotta be social. That's just part of our nature, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And two, they're learning with the children that reading facial expressions is not being able to read facial expressions is really holding a lot of kids back.
Yeah.
And there'll be studies on that for 10 years, but you know, they're going to be, you know, I think some schools are going to have an extra grade. I really think some schools are going to have like have an 11 and a half or a 13, because a lot of these children, you know, they're not going to be ready.
Well, you know, that's hilarious you're talking about this. I was thinking about this the other day when a customer was talking about what's been going on with his kids. And I'm kind of stunned how I haven't heard a lot of, you know, different things like that. Like, you know, I don't know about you, but like if I was failing, I never did, but you know, when you're failing, what happens? You go to summer school.
No,
And I don't think I've heard.
Nobody, listen, nobody passed. There was nobody passed. There was no standards. I don't know. I'm married to a principal, so who also teaches part-time a little bit. She does a couple classes. just to keep her toes in it. And
Hmm.
she of course knows all the different. She's been doing this for 20 years or
Hmm.
17 years, just 17 years in the Berkshires. So, um, last year and probably again this year, but last year nobody failed. Right? There was no, because of the pandemic, nobody was kept back. Now some people might have been kept back for other reasons, but the standards were pretty much wiped out. So the problem is they're giving them another pass this year, but they're not going to give them a pass next year. And so, if you're a teacher, it's going to be a very difficult time next year, right? Because you're going to have kids who are used to not having they try, everybody tries, right? But it's like back to reality next year, and it's going to be hard after 2 years off from reality.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, usually they would send kids to summer school. I even told that to my wife yesterday for one of the kids. I'm like, that kid's, the parent wants to take the kids out for 2 weeks, right? Because they're on a traveling sports team. And neither of the
Yeah.
2 weeks are April vacation week. So my wife's like, your kids have already missed 2 weeks of school. Now you want to take out another 2 weeks? It's like, there's no way these kids are going to be ready for next year. So,
Well, yeah, that's another subject. Yeah, I have very strong opinions of how kids are treated for sports and all that. That's yeah. What's excused to all of that? Okay, there we go.
yeah, I think keep it simple. I think the simple ways are the good ways. Teach them fundamentals. They don't need to know how to do knitting. Although I do like home ec. I do think they should bring home ec back. You don't have to throw something away because it has a little hole in it. If the seam's coming undone, you can't sew it.
Well, yeah, I think that's funny to say that. I think just getting these kids to understand the value of things and appreciate waste or not waste. I mean, yeah, that should be like a major study almost. I mean, goodness.
Yeah, I like the right to repair movement. I wish they could work that in. Give it some more teeth. Because all products you should have the right to repair any product you buy.
Yeah, it's really amazing actually how many things are just thrown out and it's like what?
Yeah,
What?
I hate throwing out good stuff, but sometimes you can only collect so much.
Yeah, well that's true.
I have some you need S-video cables?
No, I don't actually.
I was
Speaking of
trying
dinosaurs.
to. I was saving them for a rainy day, and that never came. But they're perfectly good. But I'm like, there's not enough copper to make it worth scrapping.
I'm squishing. This is cracking me up big time. Alright, so what happened to that work?
So you can see here, I am backed up.
Did. Okay.
My constructors are not fast enough. These are all fine. These are not. These. Well, you know what though? That's weird because it's just started up later. So this is something I typically do is I'll stack my conveyors on my constructors when I'm short on space. I'll stack them on top of each other. Make like 2 floors of constructors.
Oh yeah, okay.
Just because for space saving. But, I mean, man, look at the time. Talk about time flying.
I know it, isn't it? Funny how just working away, enjoying yourself, and
Well, I did get, I'm producing wire, cable, rods, sheets, and screws. In bulk. So I guess that's progress for the northern factory.
wow.
I think it's time for us to race. Are you at a point where you could take a break and meet me back at the main base?
Yeah, actually, very close. Yeah, like 5 minutes. I'm just literally about to connect the final conveyor to the train pickup station here,
Okay.
and then it could be on automatic to pick up plastics.
Yeah, I'd like to show you what I've done. I don't think you've been up here yet.
Sure.
So I'm taking my train back.
Okay.
Yeah, this thing's hauls. It's doing 120K. I've seen it go up to like 120 megawatts. So right now it's around 30 megawatts. Hey, your Jeep, your tractor's still in the middle of the map.
I forgot to go look for it.
That was a glitch. So I won't be playing Sunday, but the next Sunday I won't be playing Wednesday, so I'm out all next week. But I should be back in time to play in a week and a half.
Cool.
So 1 week after Easter. A week from Sunday. That's the orange I was talking about. Stop. Oh, I never did my cement. Forgot about that. I changed the ramp, the platform for the train a little bit. Oh, I don't want to go that way. Who turned that switch?
Okay. Well, I got one thingy ready to pick up plastic at least.
All right, come back up here. We can race.
Yeah, and go to where you are, or the main
Yeah,
base?
come to where I am right now.
Okay. Wow, it's been a while for trains for me. I haven't done that on these Fight 1 at all yet. These trains are so cool. And I love how like the Disney monorail where they just don't derail, they just keep on track.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to actually, using some of those unlocks to build something that looks kind of like a monorail, with just like a platform. Some of those pillars look really thin and cool looking.
Oh.
Yeah. You have a Jeep, right?
Let's go. Yeah, the Explorer right next to me here.
Okay. bring it up with you.
Okay. I'm gonna turn this on automatic. Self-drive. Off she goes. Oh, I think a bunch of my stuff's on the train. That's alright. I'm almost at Explorer. Okay, so you are... Let me look at the map here. Oh, okay. You're over there. Okay, I think I see you on the map. Alright. Getting a buggy here. You down on the grass, looks like?
No, I'm up at on the platform.
Uh-oh. Okay. I had to come back to the platform. I just drove off. Fun time. Let's see. Oh, that one sounded complete. I go where your trucks go. Oh. Almost there. Oh shoot. Wrong word ramp. Almost, hold on. There it is. Oh, oh, apparently can't drive up that. Okay, I'm on the ramp. You are... Oh, you're over there.
I can see your car way off in the distance.
What are you, near the train station?
I'm on the right. So come around the right. I know it's tricky.
Oh, there's not much there.
Now, if you don't mind, go down. If you go down here, you'll see my buggy. I'm gonna put the train in autopilot.
Okay.
Go. I'll meet you over at my buggy. All right. Now we're not gonna race. We're just going to let's go take a tour. So just follow this. Follow this forward.
Refuel real quick. Oh, it didn't use that much. These are pretty efficient, these little buggies.
They are.
They must have calculated the weight. Alright, I'm behind you.
So I changed this up a little bit.
Oh, did you get that hard drive there?
Nope.
Or is that me? Oh, maybe
that was
I
you.
did.
I think that was you.
You know the spacebar doesn't break, right?
Yeah, I was stopping to see where you were.
Okay.
So we probably should floor it over. This is gonna take all day.
Yep. I love how it like wiggles, like this isn't smooth, bounces and wiggles and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's dirt, like it's on a dirt track.
I know, it always leaves dirt.
It's cool. Oh my. Bookmark.
So this needs some railings on the right hand side, but it takes so long to do it. It's like, yeah, not right now.
Oh, I could do it sometime. It's just 10 at a time with a swoop.
We're losing the train pretty fast. Now this, I did something different on this area. So I actually tried to go through the rocks. It worked out pretty good.
Yeah, and that's the 2-meter climb, right?
Yes, I did everything per your advice.
Oh, Jeez, pal, this is very nice. I don't remember if I got that hard drive either. Yeah, I'll go hard drive hunting when other things are automating.
So I figured I'd try to come
This.
through all the holes in the rocks.
Wow. Yeah, sure. This is very fun. It's like like video games do, right? They go through all these sceneries
Yes.
and stuff.
Exactly.
Like pole positions like that. Some of the
Yes,
original-
and all the follow-ons afterwards. Rush 2046.
It's cute how brilliant our colors are. Like you're a bright green, I'm bright red.
Yeah, it's tough to see the colors if you go with the darker ones, you know.
True. Oh my goodness. You've been busy. Wow, very nice. See how the track is so smooth though when you go that 2 meter? It's nice.
Yes,
isn't
it is. Now that on the left, I haven't got any of these hard drives. So
Got
you're
it.
gonna see hard drives. You're gonna see slugs. I was all
Okay.
about building. I do have. I'm gonna put a station over here because there's a bunch of resources right around this area right here.
Yes. This is where I started way back in East Pipe.
Oh,
originally,
really?
below
Right
us.
here? Oh, wow.
Yeah, iron, copper here.
Yes, yes.
Oh, what do you call it? Limestone,
Yep.
Caterham, and then see that peak to the left,
Yes.
that tall one, way tall one
Yes,
has
yeah.
uranium on the top,
Oh, that's where the uranium is. Okay.
and it works great to have a drone go up there and grab it and come down. That's what I do on East Flight 1. He
Oh,
grabs it.
nice. That's perfect. That's what we can use the drones for.
Absolutely.
You still with me?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like we're on the highway. It's like burnout
I'm like
paradise.
10 blocks behind you. Oh my gosh, pal, you did unbelievable. This is beautiful. Sheesh.
It is a long way by car.
Wow. Well, that's where you can just have a separate track. This is so darn nice and big. You can just put another track next to it too.
Yeah, I think off to the left-hand side, you could run a separate track.
Tree.
Yeah, I didn't get down there. Now let me
Tree.
show you where I worked on today.
Oh, I went through it.
Yep, you go through. Watch out for that tree. All right, I'll
I
show
love
you
how
what
you
I
always
did.
go backwards when you hop out. Yeah, this is my old area. I know this area very well. This is where the coal is. Oh.
This is what I did today. All this was today.
Oh.
I didn't do the second row.
Oh, okay. Use all MK3 stuff. You didn't bring the encased things with you?
I just had so many that I just did all MK3, and I can upgrade them.
Jeez.
So
Very
this is what I
nice.
did today. There was nothing here today. This floor didn't even exist.
Really?
And then, yeah, so this is I started, there was nothing here. Now, if you look over here, this is, and you probably know what I'm talking about, but you can
Yep.
see on that ledge over there we have, I believe
Quartz?
that is quartz, and then beyond that is where the coal is. And
Yes, there's 2 coals there. There's 4 way down that sand area across the water.
yeah, I think it's only 1 coal now. There used to be 2. There used to be 2 down there, but I believe
my
it's only
gosh.
1 now. Yeah, big bummer. Well, it may.
Really?
You know what? It may have a rock on it. It may have a rock on it.
And then Caterham, if you go left,
Well, come over here.
it's up the hill. I lost you. Wait a sec. Okay, go.
Your guy's running so silly. And then past that mushroom out there is where the oil is.
Yeah, there's 3 there. Mm-hmm.
Yep, there's 3 back there, and right before that wall. And so I'll probably put a
Yep.
power plant down there and a power plant. Probably do a steel mill. I'll probably just do oil power because we have so much. Let's see what we got going here. Yeah, look at this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think our capacity, it says 24. It goes up and down, but I think it's well over. I think we probably have 5,000.
Because things picked up. Yeah. Yeah, we have 2,300 megawatts, but we could consume 4,700 if everything was like empty, the containers and
Yeah,
things.
but that capacity of 2,300, that goes up and down as things turn on and off.
Not the capacity. That's supply.
Yes,
That's power supply.
that will go up and down as things go on and off. So if we have any well, it was just going up and down. Now it stopped. But you can see right on the graph, it's about to go off the graph. If you still have the graph up, you can see it went up a little bit, and then it went down a little bit. And it went up, the match, you see the production and the capacity both went up for a little bit and came back off. So.
Oh, that's because the coal doesn't always use fuel. It matches a percentage of usage. You're right. Yep.
Yeah, I think, just like the
Yep.
burners don't, the biofuel burners don't.
Yep.
I think, tell me if I'm wrong, I think the fuel burners always use fuel. If it has it available, it always uses it. But I could be wrong. Those could be self-pacing too.
Yeah, I think the nuclears are the only one that generates 2,500 each without boosters, and if you use 10 megawatts or all of it, all 2,500, it makes no difference in fuel.
Oh, really?
I think that is the only one. Let's look. It tells you on the thingies. Coal always generates set clock speed, shuts down if fuel requirements are not met.
That fuel isn't met.
So
it's saying nothing about demand, right?
So that means it's always rotates turbine.
How about the fuel? Let's see.
So always generates at the So that's what I mean. It always generates at a power that's used or not for coal.
See, the fuel doesn't say that. It just says, well, that's not what I wanted.
It's the same phrase.
Is it?
Yeah, always generates at set clock speed. So that tells me that you'll take the same amount of fuel regardless. So it's only the biomass burners that says automatically lowered to meet power demands. They might have changed that.
Well, we may have, it'll be interesting. How much? They make 150. I got 1,500. I got 10 of them. That's 1,500 right there, right?
What's that? Fuel generator?
150 times 10. I got 10 fuel generators.
10 fuel generators. Yeah, sure. So 1,500. Mm-hmm.
And then how many coals do we have? I have 18. I have 18. What is it? 75?
Yeah, they're 75s.
Let's say I had 20, right? So that would be another 15. So take 150 off of that. I get 1350 plus, I get 1350 plus 15, right? So what's that? Right? 13 and 15, that's 28. And that doesn't even include yours. So you see what I'm saying? I think they're shutting down because we're only showing 23 when we have. I mean, I think both of you and I have checked our. Look at it, it's been extremely steady, right? I don't think any of our fuels, I don't think a majority or even half of our power plants are sucking for fuel. They don't have fuel.
Boy, just when I thought I was sure of what I knew, I understand what you're saying. It's also very fascinating how the consumption and production are in sync with each other. So all of a sudden,
well, the production and capacity,
needed.
Right? Production and capacity are in sync.
Yes. So production right now it's producing 25 megawatts.
Yeah,
but it could do 23. Okay, I get you now.
You're right.
Okay. Okay.
But I know we have well more than 2,300. Just my power plants alone are 2,300. We probably have 3,000.
Is it possible they're not the same grid? Like, is the
it is
oil ones the same grid?
I think they are. You know what? Look at it. It went to 24. Well, we should invest. I got to shut down, but we should investigate that.
Huh.
We should investigate that next time we play.
And here's the thing, right?
Let's
This
drive
is
back.
2,500 roughly. 2 nukes is twice that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like you don't even think about power when I set up those 6. It's like you don't even think about it. Actually, Macebyte 1 just has only 4, and I'm 12,000 because I still have some coals running.
Hey, I'm driving back because I'm going to shut down the server.
So, oh yeah, okay.
Next time we play, I want to research that. We'll go out and we'll check all our power, and
Yeah.
we'll do it. We'll see, how many are off, how many are starved for fuel, right? And we'll see how many are not, and then we'll add it up. Because I'm pretty sure we have 3 kilowatts.
Oh wait a minute, there's also 3 coals in the hill here too. I just remembered because I use those as well. Let me look how many coals. Hold on a second.
Yeah, there's coals right over here. That's why I'm going to put a train station here. Near your old starting point. I already have a factory down there, a starter factory down there. So I'll be expanding to this area.
I'm pretty sure there's. Well, do you think they might have changed it? Is that what you said earlier? That
Well,
they
remember
might
when
have
you were talking
taken
about
some
the
away?
two? Are you talking about like where resources are? Or
Yeah. Do you think some coal went away?
Well, I know for a fact there used to be 2 down there on this side of the river, and now there's only 1. And if you go to that map, it also only shows 1. So there was 2 down there, I know, because I can open up my old map and it's still there. But it may be that one of them has a rock on it now, but I know there was 2 there.
Down on the ground, I remember 3 or 4. That's why I'm really confused.
Well, it depends on what you're talking about. On this side of the river, there was 2. And then on the other side of the river, there's 4.
Oh, okay.
Now there's only 1 on this side of the river. And
yes.
I know there was 2 because I had them both tapped.
Oh.
But I
don't
think
know
one
about
may
that.
have a rock on them. I think one may have a rock on it now.
Yeah, and we got those. We had Nabisco.
Yeah, I didn't have it when update 5 first came out. I couldn't do anything with that.
Yep.
So I just
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm with you now. I was thinking across the lake. That's where there's 3 or 4.
There's 4 over there.
That's where I first started. Yep. Okay. Yep.
And there's 2 on this side, or used to be 2, now there's 1.
And with the MK3s, we can run. Sheesh. We could do. Oh, there's Caterham right there. We could run. Wow. We could do like almost a dozen off each coal source. So we could do a lot of coal power if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what I'm going to do up here is what I was kind of recommending for down at the oil refineries where you just ran your train. I think up here I'm going to do coal for steel and oil for fuel, because you got to do something with the fuel, right? Like it really gets in your way not burning the fuel. It's either send it into a sink.
Yeah.
It's either send it into a sink or burn it. And I think probably better to burn it, because steel is always in such high demand, right?
Yeah, and you could charge batteries, and then of course they discharge when the fuel generators aren't running and stuff. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm powering. I think I have 10. I'll look at it next week, but I think I have 10 running the problem next week. Well, a week and a half.
Boy, a couple of these things are different.
Yeah, they did make some changes, definitely. But I think I'm gonna, once you get back here to the main base, I'll save it, and we'll probably have you disconnect before I save it, because that seemed to work better.
Oh yeah, when I first log on, I should probably chase after my truck, huh? Find that ghost.
I don't think you have to, unless that's what you want to do.
Well, all right, maybe sometime later. Or
You
they'll
get the
just fix the
plastic
bug.
coming. You just got to get that plastic to the computer developer now, to the computer thing.
Yeah, and I think right now it's automating and bringing plastic. It's not fast, but it's only one of the 3. What do you call it? Freight containers of the train. I didn't plumb all 3 of them, convey all 3 of them yet, but so it's bringing some plastic right now.
And that's good.
So if you let this run, it will start filling that up. But I have nothing on this end. I didn't do, any of the conveying and storage and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's probably, we got to get computers. Everything else needs circuit boards and computers.
Fuel generators, especially too. That's right. Yep. Almost there. Hmm. This is something. I like this little runway you did. You did a great job of starting your angle here right along the coast. That's very hard. I must have been too picky about connecting to the same level.
Yeah, I didn't like the with these foundations. You can definitely see the interlacing, the clipping,
Yeah.
and I didn't like that. So what I did is I just go up one, and then I use that little 1 meter, one
Yep.
short
Very
ramp.
nice.
And I just, it's not perfect by any means, but I liked it better than the. For some reason, I don't like clipping it. Old games, when you would do that, they would crash. So it's something that I always avoided.
When you
Back.
rotate them 45 degrees and then it does that blinky winky thing. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Exactly,
Yep.
exactly. So I used to build my own levels back in the day, and
Yep.
in different video games, and if you had clipping like that, sometimes it would lead to crashing.
It's funny you mention that because that video on how to make the smooth roads. Okay, I'll log out.
Yeah, it requires you to clip them. Yeah.
Well, but he was doing like 22-degree ones. It wasn't just
Yeah, you have to hold
45s.
down.
Oh, you know how to do that?
Yeah,
You can
just hold
make
down
22?
hold down the control key.
No way. I thought it had to be 45s. You're kidding. You can do in
No.
betweens.
And I
Oh,
never even tried that until I saw that video.
no way.
Never
Now I really
tried it.
want to redo things.
That's
Yeesh.
why you'll never be satisfied with your factory, because it's not satisfactory.
Oh, good lord. Okay.
Now, that could be new in Update 5. I don't know. I mean, there's so much that Update 5 brought,
Oh,
to the
yep.
table. So with that, I just want to say goodbye to everybody who's watching. Have a great week. And until next time, peace.